Got up at 4:30 this morning. This was my first morning workout since December 22nd. So with the holidays and work and life, took off the last week or so of December, so a lot more time at home with the family and doing stuff around the house or relaxing. So I kind of fell off the workout wagon there for a couple weeks. So just now getting back into things. Was also having too many drinks in the evenings. So waking up in the morning was just too difficult. I've read that drinking alcohol into the evening is not good for your sleep, which I wasn't sleeping too good either. But it makes it that much more difficult to get up in the morning and get motivated. All you want to do is just go back to bed. So haven't had a drink the last 2 nights, which you can instantly feel better. I feel better. So trying to cut back on that, especially on the days where I'm gonna get up in the morning to work out, because I don't want to keep missing. So anyway, got up at 4:30. Took the dog for a walk, probably about 30 minutes or so, mile and a half-ish. I'm gonna get the odometer out in the car and trace it probably today and see what the actual mileage is, but it's somewhere between 1.5 and 2 miles. Then I got on the treadmill. I did low intensity today just because it's been a couple weeks since I really did anything. So did low intensity, so about 5.2 speed, 1% incline. I did that for 20 minutes, and that was about 140 to 144 beats per minute on the heart rate. So should be in that fat burn zone, not depleting my glycogen stores for lifting. And walked 10 minutes after that at 3.5 speed and 4% incline to keep my heart rate up in the 120s. So it's about 122 to 125 is what it was averaging. So still trying to get some more fat burn in there. Treadmill set about 465 calories over the 30 minutes, 2.7 miles. So got some good low intensity cardio with the dog walk outside and the treadmill. It is colder this morning, or getting colder. I think it's supposed to get down into the 30s, low 30s today, upper 20s. So I'm gonna pull the sled here in a little bit. Built a new sled, which I'll show you. My wheelbarrow sled got a big gash in the bottom, worn in it. So it was digging into the soil as I was dragging it, which added resistance, and it just made a mess, which messed up my track. So I wouldn't have great footing if it rained or was moist. So this new one is kind of like skis. You'll see. So it's touching the ground outside of where my path, my treading path is going to be, so that'll be good for traction. I'll be able to tread on grass as opposed to dirt. So if it rains, it shouldn't affect my traction, which would be great. So I'm gonna do sled and maybe some back squats if time permits or whatnot. Hopefully it will. I'm still dealing with an issue with I can't remember how to pronounce it or whatever, but it's called like the brachialis. It's this muscle right here that, if I'm correct, attaches kind of to the mid side arm to your upper forearm on the outside. So any motion like this, which I have been doing some kindling, splitting, with a hatchet and an axe and a sledgehammer. So I am left hand dominant, and that's the arm that's bothering me. And so that could be the culprit. It could also be from doing Atlas stones. It doesn't bother me while I do Atlas stones, but that doesn't mean it's not causing the problem. It really only hurts when I get to past the 90-degree angle, like if I'm doing a pull-up, overhand pull-up. That's when it feels like it's getting all jammed up right in here, and it hurts. So I've been getting out this. It's called a stick. This is a different kind. This is called a tiger tail, but there's a product called the stick that's like little PVC pipe segments, and you roll it. And so I get on the couch and I leverage the stick between my legs, and it has the difference between the stick and this. The tiger tail is the stick can bend, which I like both of them, but I like the stick to be able to bend and kind of contour, and really you can control, I feel like, the pressure a little bit more. The tiger tail works great if you're trying to get one spot in particular, and just this is a nice stiff roller, so you can really get into it. So it's kind of used for a certain type of rolling action you want, but I like the stick on my arm because I can really work it leverage wise with my leg, and do it myself. So maybe I'll do a video on that too, just to show you. But I've been doing that for the past couple of weeks, and it really hasn't solved the problem. And I wonder if I just haven't been doing it regularly enough and with enough intensity, enough pressure to really break up. Usually any type of tendonitis type pain is because the muscle and maybe connective tissue is just really constricted, and so it's like dough, like a hard dough. You gotta really roll it out. That's what I've experienced with my patellar tendon and quad. That was my first experience with tendonitis, and it was about 2 years worth of struggling with pain and figuring it out, seeing doctors, doing different things, and it took 2 weeks to solve. Getting on a hard roller on the floor and just rolling it out consistently. It was amazing. So that was kind of my introduction to rolling and kind of doing work on yourself with rollers, lacrosse ball, things like the stick, tiger tail, stuff like that. So I've had shoulder issue, which that was another year or so, and turned out to be scapula, some kind of muscle back in my back area. And I got on the roller on my back, and probably a week or two of that, and the shoulder pain up here was gone. I mean, it was ridiculous. I got cortisone shots, I got MRI. Nothing that the doctors did helped, and it just took a week or two on the roller to fix it. So I've come to learn my body a lot better through injury and experimentation, trying to fix it. My coach has been helpful, Randy Long at Reality Workouts in Garner, North Carolina. Same thing. He's experienced all the sports injuries as well, and learning your body and how to fix it yourself. So unless you've had a traumatic accident in sports, like in football, like a ACL tear, like you're running and you come to a stop and pivot real quick, like something traumatic, like stuff that I do in weightlifting, unless it's a freak accident, all the injuries should be tendonitis related, and really is a development of, I don't know if overuse is the right word, but just it could be. It's a combination of overuse and not tending to it. Not doing the right amount of stretching, the right amount of rolling that you should be doing, making sure you're not doing any activities that are causing imbalances where you're overworking one thing and not working enough of another thing, opposing motions. So usually pain and injuries stemming from doing weightlifting things, bodybuilding, strongman, unless it's a freak accident, it should be, in my opinion, tendonitis related. And from experience, once you figure out the muscle that is causing the issue, which the pain isn't necessarily where the issue is. Everything in your body is connected, and so yeah, for this example, the pain is here, but the problem is probably right here. Just like in my patellar tendon, the pain was in the peak of the patellar tendon. The problem was the mid quad. That was where it hurt the most on rolling. And after 2 weeks, it didn't hurt anymore rolling because I had rolled it out. Same thing with my shoulder. Pain was here. Problem was somewhere in the back. So that's one thing that I've come to learn is the pain point isn't necessarily where the problem is in soft tissue, weightlifting, bodybuilding, strongman type activities. So anyway, 10 minutes, that went longer than I thought, but just wanted to get some thoughts out. Did some calf stretching on my slant board here. You can see that or not. Slant board, basically a 45-degree slant board, traction tape. Made a couple of those over the years. It's a nice calf stretch, Achilles tendon. So after running or whatever for 20-30 minutes, about to do some pull sled where using a lot of calf and Achilles tendon leg drive. So it feels good to get a good stretch in beforehand. So, all right, that's about it. All right, just doing some high hang clean and press, basically muscle clean and press with a 25-pound kettlebell, just as something to do in between sled pulls. A little bit more than an active rest, I'd call it, but not really gaining a whole lot of strength or anything. Anyway, here it goes. Damn it. Here's my new sled. As you can see, it's two 4x4s with a 45-degree cut on the ends, so it'll track, slide better, and it's basically a mirror image. Got that suggestion from my coach, so I don't have to turn the sled when I go back and forth. But it's just got 2i screws, and then carabiners and whatnot, chain. Same thing on this side. So those are 50-pound bags of concrete. This has a little bit more drag, friction than my old sled. So this 150 pounds feels a little bit heavier. Feels a little heavier than my old sled. But hopefully I'll be able to work up to 200 for working sets and then 250 from there at some point. But it works great. This is 220. $230. 240. $140 non-lock. Sometimes I like doing the non-lock finisher, just one set, just to get the blood in, get a pump going.